This program is made possible by Anthem Medicaid. Anthem Medicaid is with you every step of the way. And Kentucky Legend, your everyday tradition.
Thank you so much for watching VolunTour Kentucky. My name is Randy Lanham, your host. Today we're here with the Belcher family. We're going to learn all about Make-A-Wish Foundation and how you can get involved today.
Sometimes we move so fast, life passes by, we soon regret not giving up more time for those that need a helping hand, a friend to see. Come take a trip with me, VolunTour Kentucky, VolunTour Kentucky.
Thank you, April, so much for meeting me here today. How are you?
Absolutely, my pleasure. I'm doing great.
Good.
Thanks for having us today.
Make-A-Wish Foundation. Man, I've heard about Make-A-Wish Foundation my whole life, but to be honest with you, I'm not sure of all the details about Make-A-Wish. Can you share that with us?
Yeah, absolutely. So our mission is to grant the wishes of children with critical illnesses. Our goal is to reach every child and give them an impactful, transformational experience that helps get them out of the hospital, get them back into some normal routines, and just able to focus on being a kid.
I tell you what, I've been so excited about this show, to learn more about Make-A-Wish Foundation, to meet some of the kiddos. So I actually get to meet Miss Lily coming up here before long. So tell us about the wish granting. Tell us about some volunteer opportunities.
Yeah, the only way that we're able to do anything and to reach all of these kids is really through our volunteers. Our volunteers go out and they meet with our families, they connect with our wish kids, they ask our kiddos, what is your wish? So they get to hear that excitement for the first time, and then they work with our staff to really help craft that entire wish experience that we're going to make so special for each and every kiddo.
Now, what about training? What if somebody wanted to become a wish granter? What kind of training goes into that?
Sure. So if you're looking to become a wish granter, we do start everything with an application. Got to fill out a little bit of paperwork, and then we ask all of our wish granters to attend an in-person training. And so that's where you're going to learn all of the behind the scenes of wish granting and what role you're going to play serving as that liaison between our volunteers and our staff and assisting in the planning. But then you're also going to go through a couple role-playing experiences, because you never know what our kids are going to wish for.
Right.
So really helping dive into what is the true heart and essence of that wish, digging really deep. So we've got that application and then a training opportunity so that you feel really prepared when you're going out to ask that really special question, what is your wish?
And I'm sure if a volunteer needed any assistance at all, y'all are a phone call away.
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
Right there the whole way.
You've got a staff member the entire time who's solely dedicated to ensuring that wish comes to fruition.
Yeah.
And we all work as a strong team in making it happen.
That's awesome. Yeah. So what about contact information? What is the website they would go to get information?
Sure. If anybody is interested in volunteering, they would go to oki.wish.org. And right there, it outlines all of the pieces necessary to become a volunteer, whether you want to become a wish granter or maybe you're looking to ease into it a little bit and you want to become an event-based or an awareness builder for us. All of that's on our website.
And that has all of the opportunities. It has your contact number, and it has everything that they need to know to get started.
Yes,
right?
Absolutely.
Anything else you'd like to add?
I don't think so.
I bet. I know you work a lot behind the scenes, you know, but I bet you get to occasionally go out and see some of the faces of these children.
Oh, absolutely.
Is it just like melt your heart?
It brings the whole world into perspective. When I kick off my morning and my coffee spills, or I walk into my office and everybody's got that pile of paperwork that you're looking at, it just, when you get to meet our families and when you get to see these wishes being granted and when you get to hear their phenomenal stories, it just refocuses your whole purpose in life, and it just pushes everything aside, and you know that you're doing so much good. And it's so heartwarming to be able to do this and provide this happiness to so many kids.
Helps you count your blessings and also be able to share your blessings with somebody else, right?
Yes.
These
Being
children.
so thankful for where we are in this world and being able to do this to help folks is truly a blessing.
I think it's awesome. Awesome. I cannot wait to meet the family that I get to work with, the Belcher family.
Oh my gosh.
They're going to be awesome. I just know it. And the volunteers, and learn more about this great organization. Thank you so much for your
Thank
time.
you.
Appreciate
Yes,
it so
thank
very
you.
much. Brian, Nina, thank you all so much for letting me
you.
invade your home today. Make-A-Wish Foundation, what a great organization. And you all know firsthand what great work that they do, right?
We do,
Absolutely.
yes.
So tell us your story.
How shall we begin? It's at the beginning, right?
Yeah.
So I think you were picking up, well, you were at work and I was at work too.
I was at work and Lily's daycare called and they were concerned about this lump that they felt in her belly. So I went to pick her up and the director of the daycare, I'd never seen her so concerned, and she insisted that we take her right to her pediatrician and just really insist on being seen right away. So I did that and they sent us to the hospital and got an ultrasound and put us in a room, and as soon as her pediatrician come in that room, I knew his face, and he's with tears in his eyes, he said, "I'm so sorry, but Lily has cancer." He said, "You need
I cannot
to,"
even imagine.
and I was there by myself and Brian was at work, and he said, "You need to go home and pack your bags and go straight to Children's Hospital in Louisville." So we did that, and 6 months of chemo and treatment. We had surgery to remove her kidney and the tumor, and she went through all her treatments, and at the end of it, the doctor came in and said, you all have been through all of this, and now we want to submit Lily's name for Make-A-Wish and give her a wish trip.
And so they did it on our behalf too. We had no idea. We knew a little bit about the Make-A-Wish Foundation, and it really kind of caught us off guard because we thought that the Make-A-Wish Foundation was mainly for terminally ill kids. And so our first initial thoughts were, we were humbled, we were grateful, but yet we were also like, wait a minute,
Yeah.
why Shark? She's doing so good.
Yeah.
And some other kid might deserve this more than what we do. Because like most people, we thought that the Make-A-Wish Foundation, was for children and their families, and that might be the last vacation they have together.
Right.
But we found out that wasn't the case.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Actually, most of the kids go on to leave normal and happy and long lives.
Right.
Yes. And today, Lily, how is she?
She's great. She has regular follow-up scans, but everything's been normal and clear, and she's a happy little 6-year-old.
Well, praise God for
Yes,
that.
absolutely.
All right, man, a miracle. That's great.
It
I
is.
love to hear that. So they told you about Make-A-Wish, and then you said they connected you to Make-A-Wish.
Yes, they actually filled out the application on our behalf, and I think it requires some medical records and things like that. So we filled out some releases, and they really did all the paperwork and connected us to a volunteer.
So what happened after that? Did you get contacted by Make-A-Wish, the volunteer? What happened?
We got a letter in the mail stating that one of the Make-A-Wish volunteers would be contacting us shortly, but we didn't at that time know who it was until a little bit later as the process came. I guess it was just a couple of weeks maybe before we had our first meeting with our soon-to-be wish granters that we found out who they were. And what was really neat about it is Chris and I, one of our wish makers, actually refereed basketball together in high school.
Wow.
So we had,
Small world.
Exactly.
Yes.
It was a small world. I had no idea that he volunteered with the Make-A-Wish Foundation. We talked about all kinds of things in the locker room with games and in between, but that was one thing that I didn't know about him. And so that really kind of helped bring it together for me, because then I'm like, man, I know him.
Yeah.
They're going to take good care of us. This is an awesome opportunity for Lily especially and our family to be able to enjoy this time with you. Yeah.
After what you had gone through, after that 6 months of treatment and all of that, and then being able to
to do this, get this wish.
Yeah.
I mean, how awesome is that? What a
Yes.
blessing that had to be for your family.
It was certainly a celebration for us at
Yes,
the end
very
of
much so.
such a hard
Right.
journey.
Yes, absolutely. That is so
Yeah.
cool. That is so cool. I love this story, how this
Yeah.
came together. So you met with the volunteer, and then you went through the process that you have to go through, and talking and the different things, and then
Yeah, it starts with just an initial meet and greet, and it was a good opportunity because the rest of my family didn't know Chris, and I hadn't met Robin, but maybe a time or two, maybe at a game. So it was kind of nice for us just to spend a little time getting to know them a little bit and kind of hearing why it's so important for them to be volunteers and why this organization is something they choose to spend their time with. And then it kind of took off from there. I started asking Lily all kinds of questions about what she likes, and I think we were up in her bedroom talking about it while she was
Yes.
playing, and she was just a happy, excited kid. She really did not know what was about to happen.
Right.
And so just seeing how things unfolded from there was just amazing. It really
That's
was.
exciting. Well, I so look forward to doing this show. And again, I appreciate you all opening up your house to us to come in here and talk to you all, and get to talk to the volunteers and get to talk to Lily and see how this all works for Make-A-Wish.
Yes.
But we just want to inspire folks out there watching
Absolutely.
to get
Yes.
involved with Make-A-Wish. What would you tell them? Somebody out there watching that might be thinking about becoming a volunteer.
Yeah, if there's one thing that you can do to give to others, volunteering is the fastest and the best way to do that. There's so many opportunities out there. There are so many good people, so many good organizations that are wanting people to come and say, hey, I have this particular talent, or I have a little bit of time to give, and they come and they say, okay, let's do this. Tell us what this is all about. Let's get involved. And then, really, it really ends up probably, I know from experiences from a volunteer standpoint, that I know for things that I've done, it just is so rewarding. It really is.
Absolutely.
I mean, you can't imagine it just comes back twofold, really.
Yeah,
It really
yeah.
does. The good things that happen, and then even more things that come from that's good.
And
Right.
Lily's wish was life-changing for us, and
Yes.
we've made it a point to help grant other wishes by doing events like this and
Right.
other Make-A-Wish fundraisers and just bringing awareness.
Oh, that's so cool. Just keep the ball rolling,
Yes.
right? Pass it on.
Pass it on,
Exactly.
pay it forward.
Yeah, when
absolutely.
somebody does something kind for you, obviously you want to it makes you just burst and fill up inside and just want to give back, don't
Right,
it?
It does.
absolutely.
That's what we should all be doing. That's what we're all
Yes.
called to do, is serve and love one another, and it's a
Right.
good thing when we're able to do that,
Yes.
right?
And the amount of happiness that comes, and otherwise, there's so many things going on in the world that are negative, and there's so many things and struggles that people go through on a daily basis. But something like the Make-A-Wish Foundation, and going through what we went through with our daughter with cancer, and the doctor's visits, and the surgery itself, and just the stress and all of that.
The pure disruption to your life.
Oh.
It was just it was a good way for us on our Make-A-Wish trip to just kind of put that off and kind of push it aside, focus on the time that we have with Lily, and to spend that with her, and to spend it fully. And really, we get so busy and doing hustle and bustle and doing things in our work that we really don't have a whole lot of time to be where our feet are.
Right.
And at that time, we were
yeah.
able to shut everything off, and we were able to say, this is our time with Lily. We're here in front of Cinderella's castle.
Yeah.
About to have our picture taken, and everything else, all is good with the world, really.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Wow, what a blessing.
Yeah.
What a blessing the Make-A-Wish Foundation is to so many kids. Can you imagine? You are one story of so
Right.
many of what
Yes.
they touch. And I'm so glad to be here today and just be spotlighting your story at Make-A-Wish. Thank you all both
Thank
for
you
your
very
time. I
much. Yeah,
appreciate it so
it.
much.
Thank you.
I'm looking forward to meeting Miss Lily.
Yes.
All right, yep, be ready.
Chris, Robin, thank you all both so much for meeting me here today. How are y'all doing?
Thank you.
Welcome.
Y'all doing well?
Yes,
Doing
we
fine,
are. How
doing
are
fine.
you?
I'm doing good, thank you.
Good.
I've been so excited about doing this show for Make-A-Wish.
Oh,
Now, I just got to know you being volunteers, and of course, we'll talk later about you getting to be a part of the Belcher's family and making Lily's wish come true. But first, tell us, what in the world made you want to become volunteers for Make-A-Wish?
Wow. Well, I'll tell you, it started. I officiate softball and basketball. I'm out on the court and out on the basketball field quite often. And actually, when I first started thinking about doing it, I was out at Davis County High School, and there was a girl that had cancer, and she was doing the Make-A-Wish, and she was participating, and then they granted her a wish to take a nice trip. And I heard when she come back, and I just heard these teenage girls talking about how that impacted that family and that girl, of just getting away just for a short term, of not having to worry about doctors, going visits and medication and stuff like that, but she just went out with her family and they had a great time. And I just said, man, that's awesome. I just said, I'd like to take part in something like that. So that's kind of how it got started. And so I kind of done a little bit of asking around and kind of doing a little research and kind of read about it and stuff. So I said, so just one thing led to another.
Yeah. And so you hooked it up and became a Make-A-Wish volunteer.
I did. It took a little bit of a process. It was a little process of, you had to do some training and going into some classes and learn a little bit, about how to get into a family and talk with the girl or boy and try to learn a little bit about, graining their kind of what they want. And
Right.
kind of try to get in what they really want and what their dreams are and what they would like to do.
Right. But I'm sure the training was worth every second of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So what was part of the training? Well, they do a background check, test, training. Tell us a little bit about that. All of the above?
Right.
All of the above.
That-
all
yeah.
of-
Yeah, so you got to learn a lot about how to go in and do the interviews. And
Yes, and then we have to, figure out, we had to learn how to fill out the paper on the child and the mom and dad
Mhm.
and get their social security, their driver's license, and I think Lily's, Lily, her birth certificate. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's lots of paperwork and stuff, and lots
Lots of
of
paperwork.
checks and balances of what they do on,
Right.
getting credited. Getting all the. You got to get doctor statements and stuff.
Right.
They do, a
Right.
lot of the stuff, but we just kind of we're the go between.
Right,
Getting the
right.
information that the Make-A-Wish office ask us to get and
Right.
pass that along back to the office and get that from the family and stuff, and just lots of paperwork to just make sure that they give them the rights to to check that type of stuff and everything. So.
How cool is it? I got to ask. How cool is it to be able to, first of all, go in and doing all the interviewing, knowing that you're going to get to grant these wishes, help grant these wishes?
Well, I'll tell you, I wasn't a volunteer at the time that he did Lily, but I said, Chris, I would love to be a volunteer also. So then
So you fell in love with it
Oh,
after
yes.
seeing the process.
The first little boy that he did, I just fell in love with that family. And the little feller did not make it. So we went to his funeral. And you feel this calming spirit come over you, and you've touched that child's life. They may not know it, he didn't, but just the bond that I had with his brother and his mom, and then, on our first meeting, we buy a gift for the child, age appropriate. And we brought that the first visit, and then we introduce ourselves to the child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get
It's
to
kind of
know
an icebreaker type thing.
Yeah.
Kind of,
Yeah,
kind of
sure.
get,
Yes, it
kind of get the child to, kind of get be buddy up there,
Yeah,
so they
to open
so
up
they
to
can sit
you,
there
to
and
tell you their wish.
Right.
Yeah. Now, I can't imagine too. I mean, after the process, you go through the interview and you find out what they want, and then you go back and you make that wish happen, and letting them know about the wish, or even being around when they get to witness that wish, or if they go on a trip or whatever, get to see their faces when they get return. Is that the best feeling ever?
Well, you said it, Randy. I mean, just the thought of being able to go into that, knocking on that door, and knowing that you've got a very good opportunity to help that child and to give them something that they dream about, that can't fathom, that that it could actually be something they do. That's just an awesome feeling.
Just for them to be able to take away their worries for a little while.
And
right?
one little feller we granted, Make-A-Wish granted for that boy, was all he wanted was braces.
Mm-hmm.
And we called Make-A-Wish. They said no problem, and they got the process started. And he received braces, so he's getting straight teeth.
Oh yeah. Well, you know what? Whatever they want,
That's right.
You go in and you find out what the children
Yes.
want. Well, I tell you, I've got to meet the family just a little bit, but I appreciate you all. Kind of like you said, you get to tag along with other volunteers. So I feel like y'all are my trainers today, and y'all are bringing me in here for the process of the interview. And so I want to thank you both for your time, for your service to Make-A-Wish, to all the kiddos you all get to help. The inspiration, people watching right now are going to be inspired. They're going to be moved, and I appreciate it. But thank you for your heart. Thank you for your service. Thanks for letting me tag along. So now I believe we get to go talk to the family and Miss Lily and do our interview process.
All right.
Does that sound good? All right.
Let's do it.
So everybody, thank you so much for letting me invade your home again. Brian, Nina, thank you for allowing us to come in here.
Pleasure.
And who do we have here? Who is this young lady? Is this Lily?
Yeah.
Is this the Lily?
It's the famous Lily.
That's right.
This is the one. Look at
She is
you.
very good.
You are shy, ain't you? Are you a little bit shy?
No.
Says she was.
Not at all.
Lily, can I talk to you for a minute? Because I want to ask you, we are featuring the organization Make-A-Wish. And I understand these awesome volunteers, your friends over here. You got to come in and meet these folks. Why don't we talk about the first time you all met? Do you remember the first time you met the volunteers? You tell us about it, Chris.
Well, we got the packet. Robin and I, we read the packet and kind of give a little information on what she likes and stuff, her age and stuff like that. So we kind of done a little looking at that and kind of had our little cheat sheet together before we came and knocked on the door and got to meet her and talk to her. So I had a few little gifts for her that kind of I knew what she kind of liked, and so we kind of broke the ice right there and kind of made buddies right off the bat. And as you see, it's not hard to talk to her. She kind of steered us in the right direction from the get-go.
A little personality.
Yes.
Yes.
She made our job very easy.
Well, I got to tell you, I mean, the Make-A-Wish, you all being able to come in and be a part of this wish, you all getting, after everything that you all went through, and getting to go down there and take this week with your family just to hang out and have fun.
Yeah.
What a blessing. What a great organization. Wouldn't you all agree Make-A-Wish is?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So one at a time, I want to ask you one at a time. Inspiration, volunteers out there, potential volunteers watching right now, what would you tell them?
Go for it. I mean, it will change your life.
Absolutely.
What about you?
Just to have the opportunity to make a difference and impact in somebody's
Come back to you.
in somebody's world is.
Yeah.
I mean, everything comes back twofold or more when you know that what you're really doing really is making an impact on those people's lives, and you're making memories forever too.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll talk about this trip forever. She'll
Forever.
learn it, and we'll be able to go back and hopefully visit Disney and kind of relive some of the places. We certainly want to go back and volunteer at the Give Kids a World Village and serve from that capacity.
Yeah.
There's just so many opportunities that are out there for people. And if you need that extra nudge to do it, just from here, I mean, this is just pure joy. I mean, it was all the time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The whole time. I mean, you give a kid ice cream for breakfast in the morning.
Okay, that's right there.
Full throttle the whole time.
That's right.
What about you guys? What would you say?
Well, like I said before, Randy, it just touched my heart. I mean, I'm sorry, it's just meeting this family, meeting that precious little girl, knowing that she had gone through what she did in the hospital, and then getting to see her afterwards and getting to grant her her wish. I mean, besides being a mother, Randy, there's no greater pleasure on this earth.
Yeah.
Well, Brian said it well. Making a difference, and it's just a lot better to give than receive.
Amen.
Amen. Yeah, I hear you.
Yes.
All right, we saved the best for last. Miss Lily, what would you tell somebody out there? What do you tell folks about Make-A-Wish, making your wish come true?
You can do it. You can wish for whatever you want. I mean, like you can do what you can go for it. You're like, good job for what you did. Good job for living your life.
How much does it mean to you
It means like
that somebody would do that for you?
it's like feels in my heart that someone loves me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people love you, Lily.
Yes,
You are surrounded by
That's
love
right.
here, girl.
Absolutely.
Hey, I want to thank you all so much. Thank you for your service. Thank you for sharing your home with us and your story with us. And Lily, thank you for your time and your inspiration and your happiness, girl. All right? Thank you all so much for being a part of the show today. Thank you very much. Thanks everybody for watching VolunTour Kentucky. My name is Randy Lanham, your host. I loved hanging out with the Belcher family today and Miss Lily, learning all about Make-A-Wish Foundation. To learn more, go to wish.org. Lily, thank you so much for letting us hang out with you today. Give me 5.
Yeah.
Tell everybody bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. This program is made possible by Anthem Medicaid. Anthem Medicaid is with you every step of the way. And Kentucky Legend, your everyday tradition.